Jananim Saradam Devim Ramakrishnam Jagadgurum Padapadme Tayo Shritva Pranamami Muhurmuhu. Please sit erect and in a comfortable position with your limbs as loose as possible, and try to close your eyes and try to withdraw your senses. I will chant Om. Try to meditate on the luminous space in your heart. After 5 minutes, I will chant Om once again. Slowly open your eyes. Om. Karara Vindena Padara Vindam Mukhara Vinde Viniveshayantam Vatasya Patrasya Pute Shayanam Balam Mukundam Manasa Smarami. So today is Janmashtami, the birthday of Sri Krishna. I was just thinking that whenever we think of any incarnation, there are supposed to be 10 incarnations of Lord Vishnu. We get different kinds of moods. But you just think of Sri Krishna. Anyone thinks of Sri Krishna, and there is a lot of fondness in your mind, a lot of love towards this personality. Sri Krishna invokes what is in Sanskrit called Vatsalya. There are various aspects of the personality of Sri Krishna popular, and one of the aspect is the Bala Krishna or the child Krishna. And this stanza, Karara Vindena Padara Vindam, the lotus like hands of Kara Aravindena, by the lotus like hands of Sri Krishna, Padaravindam, he takes his feet, lotus like feet, and Mukharavinde Viniveshayantam, and he takes that feet to his mouth. In fact, the toe, he takes it to his mouth and sucks it. Vatasya Patrasya Pute Shayanam, Vata, the banyan tree, Patrasya, on the leaf of a banyan tree, Pute, on the fold of the leaf of a banyan tree, he lies down. Just imagine, you have seen this picture very often. A small child, beautiful child, divine child, lying on a folded banyan leaf, and sucking the toe. Balam mukundam manasa smarami. So I just meditate or remind myself of that Balam, child Mukunda. Who is a Mukunda? One who can give you mukti is Mukunda. Lord himself, who can liberate you from this world, from this transmigratory cycle of again punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, again coming and again going. That person is called Mukunda. That personality is called Mukunda. Krishna means one who is dark in complexion. Rama was also dark in complexion. Krishna is also dark in complexion. The root Karsha means that which attracts. So automatically Krishna, everyone is attracted to Krishna, be it in the form of Gita Acharya Krishna, the Krishna who gave the sermon of the song of Gita, song of God, or be it the personality of Krishna as a child, or be it the personality of Krishna, the flute player. So today we will try to see the message of Sri Krishna. What did Sri Krishna stand for? What did he preach, or what did he say to us? What was his message? Why did Sri Krishna come? হ্যাঁ সেটা তো না মাউস দিয়ে হবে মিউজিকটা জোর করে দেবো না এটা পরে জোর হবে यदा यदा हि धर्मस्य ग्लानिर्भवति भारत ग्लानिर्भवत भारत ग्लानिर्भवति भारत अभ्युत्थानम् अधर्मस्य तदात्मानं सृजाम्यहं परित्राणाय साधूनां विनाशाय च दुष्कृतां धर्म संस्थापनार्थाय संभवामि युगे युगे. In his introduction to the commentary, his commentary on Bhagavad Gita, Shankaracharya says that due to passage of time, religion or virtues or righteousness declines, and it is human nature to forget all that is good and to stick on to whatever is not so good. So whenever that happens, God comes on this earth. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata. O the descendant of Bharata dynasty, Bharata Arjuna, whenever there is a decline in dharma or the sustenance of life, I will not say it is religion, whenever there is a decline in righteousness, abhyutthanam dharmasya adharmasya yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyutthanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijamyaham. And also when there is not only that righteousness declines, but also unrighteousness rises, adharma also rises. At that time tada atmanam srijamyaham. Shankaracharya says that it is as though the indivisible entity Brahman takes form, as though it is manifested. Paritranaya sadhunam, for the protection of the good, vinashaya cha dushkritam vinashaya, for the destruction of the bad, evil, sambhavami yuge yuge. In every age I take birth. So we see when Buddha came, the situation was similar, but Sri Krishna came much earlier to that. So that is how the birth is justified, because we don't understand how this unmanifested can manifest. That is a big riddle, but that is how the scripture says that for the bringing in of a order, cosmic order amidst chaos, this power takes birth. So we see that this is Mathura, where you have this prison where Krishna was born. He was born as a child of Devaki and Vasudeva in that prison, and just adjacent to that prison is mosque actually, and it is very well protected and lot of security is there. What you see, this construction is not of the birthplace, but this is Birla temple. The birthplace is actually exactly under the mosque. So you have to go and see, and of course photography is not allowed. So no, it is not seen here. So this is the thing which I was this is the image of Sri Krishna which I was referring to. Kararavindena mukharavindam. You see, this is the hand, and he is catching that hand and bringing this padaravindam, mukharavinde viniveshayantam, and he is bringing into his lotus like mouth, and he is, of course that is not visible, lying on a folded banyan leaf. What did Sri Krishna preach? Of all the things which Sri Krishna preached, what is more relevant today and most relevant today is the harmony of all the spiritual paths. In fact, before the Bhagavad Gita, we don't find any text which so pronouncedly, so vocally proclaims the harmony of all paths. In fact, he gave a lot of paths. If you see, almost every chapter of the 18 chapters of Bhagavad Gita is nothing but a path. It's as though the Vishwarupa or the cosmic form which you can see in this image is unfolding before you, that God is immanent or the cosmic principle is immanent. It is up to you how you take it and in which form you take it. And the entire message of Sri Krishna is that. Sri Krishna's message is not a particular religious message, it is not a Hindu message or a Christian message or a Buddhist message, but it's a message of harmony, of universality. It's a message which takes everything inside it. Even people who are into dry intellectualism, people who are into emotional devotion, people who are into work alone, all kinds of thinking are taken into Sri Krishna's message, are encompassed within his message. And Shankaracharya brought some aspects out, and Swami Vivekananda brought 4 yogas out of this. So you see, this is one place where Sri Krishna in his childhood Leela, he showed that when he ate this mud, almost all children eat mud, no? Some people they eat this, what is that, plaster of Paris or something, because you need lot of calcium when you are growing. So the body tries to find out calcium, just like a robo nowadays, modern robo goes to a power outlet. A child tries to find calcium, so they eat the mud, and that's why children eat mud. So Krishna also ate mud, and mother Yashoda or foster mother Yashoda, she scolded, and then Krishna opened his mouth and showed the vision of the entire cosmos, and this happened in this place called Brahmanda Ghat in Mathura, near to Gokul. Yeah, it's Yamuna is there. It's on the bank of Yamuna. And this is a place called Chaurasi Khamba, where there are 84 pillars. It's a very old architecture. In fact, the Archaeological Survey of India preserves this monument, and they have dated it to be at least more than 3000 years old. So there you have, it's called Mahavan, and it is the place where it is understood that Gokul, where Sri Krishna was there when in his babyhood. Actually, Sri Krishna was born in Mathura in that prison. He was taken to Gokul and from there he went to Nandgaon. This is the deity in Gokul, Mahavan. The same deity which you see here, the priest is worshipping, and the deity close up. And this is the place Nanda Bhavan in Nandgaon. It's huh? Oh, this is that no, this Rukmini and other, Rukmini and other person, na? Satyabhama. And now Nandgaon, Nanda Bhavan, it's on top of a hillock. This is how it looks from distance. So you see, obviously the message of Sri Krishna we get from this, the song of God or Bhagavat Gita. Bhagavat means of God and Gita means song. So song of God. There is a translation of Bhagavad Gita in English verse by Swami Prabhavananda by this name, the song of God. So where was this told? It was told between two armies. Now Arjuna got confused, he had performance anxiety and he said that, "Oh Krishna, take this Ratha, Ratham me sthapaya, Senayor Ubhayor Madhye." Ubhayo Senayo Madhye, amidst both these army, please take and position my Ratha, my chariot. This is what Arjuna said, and the chariot was so positioned, and there 18 chapters of Gita was told. Now this is a serious problem. To chant Gita very fast takes 2 hours. So you see, if this is the condition, 2 armies either side with all the missiles and everything ready to be fired, and you are chanting Gita for 2 hours, and probably it would have taken more. So we don't know. Probably he sent some files and that were downloaded in the brain of Arjuna. We don't know what technology they had. But anyway, this is what it happened, and this is the greatest teaching of Sri Krishna. Here he tells so many things, and we see that in Haryana we have this place Kurukshetra, where you have this exact place, that is, it is believed to be the exact place where the battle unfolded. Another very important dimension of the teachings of, very important aspect of the teachings of Sri Krishna, apart from the harmony, is the gospel of unity. He preached the unity, not only in different spiritual practices, but also different people. See, though we talk about casteism, different kind of social stratification in India, but still Krishna gave this very important lesson. He said, "Matta parataram nanyat kinchid asti dhananjaya, mai sarvamidam protam sutre manigana iva." You see a pearl there, necklace, pearl necklace, just like a necklace. No, if different pearls are there in one necklace, sutre manigana, different money or pearls are there in same thread, they are tied together, and that thread is common to all these pearls. Similarly, mai sarvamidam protam means I run through all these pearls. Similarly, I run through all that exists. Matta parataram na anyat kinchid asti dhananjaya. Oh Dhananjaya, there is nothing other than me. Matta parataram na anyat kinchid asti. There is nothing in this world other than me. Isha vasyam idam sarvam. Yat kincha jagatyam jagat. Whatever is there, jagat, moving in this world, Isha vasyam idam. You have to understand, or you have to impose, or you have to, overlap or encompass in that Isha vasyam. Bring it under the canopy of God. Why? Because actually that is the truth. There is nothing which is not the Brahman or the eternal truth. So same thing he says, Sri Krishna says, matta, other than parataram, na anyat kinchidasti, there is nothing other than me. Mayi sarvamidam protam. I am encompassing everything in this world. Sutre manigana eva. Just like pearls are there in a necklace, there is a sutre manigana eva. Different pearls are tied through a same thread, sutra, like that. So you see, there is lot of environment also in Sri Krishna's life. We know the incident of when Indra wanted to show the rage because some worship was not conducted in his favor. So Sri Krishna showed that using Govardhana you can protect yourself. This could be an idea of ecological conservation, eco-conservation, that you need mountains. So Govardhana, it is believed, is the body of Sri Krishna, and you are not allowed to go up Govardhana actually. Only you can go to this particular shrine and there is a path to go there. This is Govardhan, and the circumference of Govardhana mountain is about 23 kilometers. You can do the parikrama in 6 hours. The other thing which Sri Krishna tells very clearly is the immanence of God. He says, Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishto matta smritir jnanam apohanam cha vedaischa sarvair ahameva vedyo vedanta krit veda vidaiva chaham. Whatever is there, sarva, whatever is there, in that, in the heart of everything, I am there, and I only give knowledge and memory, etc. to everybody. And all the Vedas talk about me. I am the Veda, and whomsoever Vedanta, etc. And I have only given birth to the Vedas. You see, another thing which Sri Krishna was very Catholic about or very universal about, he did not bother why you come to God. People come to God because of different reasons. Jignasu, Artha, Arthi, etc. There are different kinds of classifications. Some people come to God because of shopkeeping religion. Most of the people go to God for that. Why? You have a utility. You go to God because you want to pass in the joint, or you want to clear it, or you want to get a proposal sanctioned for your research. You go to God, or you want to get your daughter married off, something like that. So you go to God and you give lot of donation also. So Sri Krishna says, Kankshanta karmanam siddhim yajanta iha devata kshipram hi manushe loke siddhir bhavati karmaja. You see, people worship gods for success in action. Why? Because loke shipram hi siddhir bhavati. Because karmaja, all the success which is karmaja, born out of action in this world, takes place very quickly. If you don't believe this, go and slap somebody, immediately you will get a return slap. So whatever action you do in this world will have an immediate result. That is what? Shipram hi loke siddhir bhavati karmaja. Shipram, very quickly you get. So that is why people want to worship God, because they want that their actions should bear fruit. So Krishna was not having any problem with that. He said, okay, we will see. Whatever you do, however you approach God, I am okay with that. Vrindavan is full of temples. This is the Madan Mohan temple, and it has got, every temple has got a legend. It also has a legend. But Sanatana Goswami performed austerities here, and below this temple there is what is called Grantha Samadhi. In Vaishnava tradition, if some great saint passes away, not only was his body buried in Samadhi, but also the books which he used was buried in Samadhi, which I don't know why. A library could have been better. So Grantha Samadhi is there. Madan Mohan temple, and also his Sanatana Goswami's Samadhi is there. This is the back portion of the temple. The front is the main. If you go the other side, the main deity. So Krishna, as I said, he did not bother how you worship. He accepted all kinds of worship. He said, Ye yatha mam prapadyante tams tathaiva bhajamyaham mama vartma anuvartante manushyaha partha sarvashah. O Partha, the descendant of Pritha, O Partha Arjuna, manushyaha sarvashah mama vartma anuvartante. All the human beings, they follow my path. Mama vartma means path. My path anuvartante, they follow. You cannot avoid me, you cannot go to any path which is not my path. Why? Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam tathaiva bhajamyaham. Whatever people ask of me or however people worship me, I give to them accordingly. So if you ask pizza, you will get pizza. If you ask Brahmagyana, knowledge of Brahman, you will get Brahmagyana. Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam tathaiva bhajamyaham. So I bhajamyaham, or satisfied people in the same way as you approach me. So I am God. I am not bothered about how, what or how are you approaching me. I am very Catholic or universal. You see, Vrindavan, this name has come because it is believed that it is the vana or forest of Vrinda, Vrinda Devi, and this is the temple of that Vrinda Devi, and this place is called Vrinda Kunda. We all have problems, and Sri Krishna identified that, just like Buddha much later identified, after 3000 years Buddha identified. So the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita is that, identification of the problem. What is our problem? Underperformance or performance anxiety. You apply for a job, you get the job, and then when you have to do the work, you have problem. You are not able to deliver goods. So that you have the problem. And what is the cause of problem? Sri Krishna found out. And that is what, exactly like Buddha said, there is suffering, there is a way out of this suffering, and this is the way. Similarly, Sri Krishna did it in a much more pragmatic method, much more, practical method. He said, there is a problem, and I know how to troubleshoot the problem. I give you this manual by which you can troubleshoot all your problems, solve problems. The various methods he gave, almost 17 methods, which will form part of 17 chapters of the Gita after the first chapter, totally 18 chapters. This is the Radha Damodar temple in Vrindavan. This temple is very important. Why? Because in this temple there are various images of Krishna which were worshipped by different Goswamis, Sanatana Goswami, Roopa Goswami, Jiva Goswami, etc. Bhakti Vinod Thakur, etc. See, the Sanatana Goswami, every day he used to go for a parikrama of Govardhan. Towards his old age, he could not do that. So he used to do parikrama, and he used to get mushti bhiksha, means he used to get a handful of rice, and that he used to cook and eat in that the temple which I showed, Madan Mohan temple. There he used to cook it and eat. So during his old age he could not do that, and in the dream Sri Krishna appeared and he said that you will get a stone which is part of Govardhan. All you need to do is you need to do parikrama of that stone 4 times, and it will be equivalent to the parikrama of Govardhan. In this Radha Damodar temple there are a lot of samadhis of different Goswamis and different acharyas of Vaishnava tradition. This is the deity, and this is how the whole set of images, different images worshipped by different people, and this is the Govardhan Shila. This is the Govardhan Shila which Sanatana Goswami got. And there are different samadhis. This is one samadhi of Roopa Goswami. Actually he is bending and he is standing on his, like that knee, on that knee he is just like that bending, and this is how he used to do japa. And this is the entrance of Radha Damodar temple. So people believe that if you do 4 parikramas of this temple, it is equivalent to 1 Govardhan parikrama. he got it just like that. He was told by Krishna that you go to such and such place, you will get. Very first words of Bhagavad Gita are words which give clarity. When you are asleep, sometimes we fall into deep sleep and the alarm goes and we are not able to hear even the alarm and we are in the sleep. Then what do people do, or at least they are supposed to do? Particularly mothers are very gracious, they always do this. They come and wake you up, they shake you up. Or if mother is very intelligent, throw a bucket of water. But she will not do, because the next time mattress also she has to only take care of. So it will create a lot of problem. But anyway, waking up. So Arjuna went into a kind of hibernation mode in that Kurukshetra. So Krishna had to wake him up. And that shaking, that roaring exhortation of Sri Krishna is what we see in the second shloka of the second chapter. Kutastva kashmalamidam vishame samupastitam anarya jushtam aswargyam akirtikaram Arjuna. Kutastva, kutah tva, where from where did you come into this kashmalam, this kind of difficult situation? Vishamam, idam vishamam, vishame samupastitam. You have come and positioned yourself, or you find yourself in such a difficult position. Anarya justam aswargyam akirtikaram Arjuna. That does not befit you, anarya. Arya actually means one who is born out of prayer. Anarya justam aswargyam. And also it will not lead you to heaven. Akirti, it will not give you glory also. How do you get to this kind of position that I will not wage war, I will not fight the war? Because you are the person who said this. Then he said, Klaibyam masma gama partha. Klaibyam masma gama partha. Na etat tvai upapadyate. Klaibya means one who is neither male nor female, neuter gender. It's a scolding, a very, very great scolding. So Krishna actually practically calls names. He says, Klaibyam masma gama partha. Na etat tvai upapadyate. It does not befit you. Shudram hridaya daurbalyam tyaktva uttishta parantapa. Shudram hridaya daurbalyam. Hridaya daurbalyam, weakness of heart, give it up. And tyaktva uttishta parantapa. Parantapa means one of broad shoulders. Give up this weakness and get up. If you have to study Gita, Swamiji says by studying Gita you will be, you will get strength. And he also says in another place, which is often misquoted, is that by playing football you will understand Gita better. But people say that it is better to play football than to study Gita. That is not the idea. Why? Because you need lot of strength to understand Gita, lot of physical strength, and that is why okay. No, I want to minimize this. It cannot be done from here. No, it is not happening anyway. It actually it gondogol is. हाँ ठीक है सर. So if you have to understand Gita, we have to first bring lot of clarity, lot of pragmatism and practicality into our minds, and also we have to bring lot of strength into ourselves. Otherwise we will not be able to understand Gita, because Gita talks about our life and our problems. It is not something which can be used as an escape route. Gita is not something which you can hold on to and say that I have a lot of problems in my life, so now I study Gita, go to some temple and give up this world. No, Gita talks about in fact actions, and in fact it says that even by actions you can attain the same goal which you will attain by giving up actions. So why do you want to give up actions? In fact it says that it is only children, only babies who say that yoga and karma are different. Sankhya yogo prathak bala. Only children will say that, and who are wise people, they know that you can use both these paths to attain knowledge. So actually the yoga of knowledge or jnana yoga, that is given very clearly in Bhagavad Gita, and that is given by first bringing us to the ground reality. How? But by first giving us a reality check. And also, na asato vidyate bhavo na abhavo vidyate satah ubhayorapi drishtontah tu anayoho tattvadarshibhihi. See, the reality is never manifested, and what is manifested is never the reality. So whatever you see outside is just because of ignorance. You should understand this, and unless you understand this, you will not get any idea. And only in the second chapter you get the wonderful shlokas which give you the whole 2 shlokas, second chapter 62 and 63, which give you the whole system of the working of mind, dhyayato vishyan pumsah, etc., which say that because you get attached to sense objects, you get desire, then desire leads to anger, etc., etc. So in this very important chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna makes his basic points very clear, and in fact he gives you knowledge. And then Sri Krishna is asked this question by Arjuna, that how do people who know or who are wise act? What? Sita prajnasya ka bhasha samadhistasya keshavah sitadi kim prabhasheta kimasita vrajeta kim. How are Sthita Prajna, or those who are established in wisdom, how do they act? What do they do? How do they talk? What is their daily actions? And that is what Sri Krishna tells, that you see, they are free from dualities. They never think of how the external circumstances are going to affect them. And by this, Sri Krishna exhorts. In fact, it is told that these shlokas, which are called Sthita Prajna Lakshana, are the characteristics of Sthita Prajna, but these are all also things which we need to practice if you have to attain to that state. And that is what Sri Krishna says. He says, Dukkheshu anudvigna mana sukheshu vigataspra. A person is not disturbed by sorrow, and he is also not attached to pleasures or happiness. In fact, Vrindavan is a place which has been plundered a lot by various conquerors. This temple, Govindji temple, is such temple, but it also shows how Indian mentality is so much overworked with the sense of, mlecha. Swamiji says that the day you invented this word mlecha, your decline started. The day, see, Krishna's philosophy is very Catholic, he accepts everyone. But we say that this person does not belong to the religion, so he is a mlecha. So what has happened? In Vrindavan there is this Govindji temple, and because this Govindji temple was supposed to be a very grand temple, in fact it is told that it needed 40 months. 1 month is how many? So it needed 40 months, that is how many kgs? 16 means 1600 kg of ghee for the lamp to be lighted on the topmost tower, and the tower, it was having 7 towers, and that lamp, it seems, could be seen from Yamuna, which was used those days by ships, and it acted as a lighthouse. That is the legend. And Aurangzeb came and he just removed, or other Mughal conquerors, they removed the first 3 things. And so it is told that the Man Singh Raja of Jaipur took away the original deity to Jaipur, Govindji. So and Aurangzeb came into the temple, so the temple has been impure, it has become impure or it has been defiled, and because Mlecha came, and so the temple, there is a deity they keep, but it is only for show, no puja is done, and behind the temple this deity is there where actually puja is done. So it is called the new Govindji temple. So apart from the fact that the temple was destroyed and other things, this also is a big irony that we say that it is a Mlecha came, so the temple has become impure, etc., etc. Sri Krishna gave lot of emphasis on the yoga of action. He said that there are people who think that karma or work is inferior to knowledge. He said that is not true. Because why? Nahi kashchit kshanamapi jatu tishtati akarmakrit karyate hi vashak karma sarva prakriti jair gunahi. It is impossible for anyone to sit without doing any work, because it is the nature of people who are born of 3 gunas to always do some work. So people who say karmendriyani sanyamya ya aste manasa smaran indriyarthan vimudatma mithyacharasa uchyate. A person who says that I don't do any work, I have given up all work, and sits in one place, does not do any work by using the external organs, but manasa smaran, he uses his mind to do all kinds of activity. He goes to London, New York and all kinds of places using his mind. That person is indriyarthan vimudhatma. That person is a deluded person. He has no clear understanding and he is a hypocrite, mithyachara. So, but who is the person? Yastu indriyani manasa niyamya arabhate arjuna karmendriyaihi karma yogam asaktah sa vishishyate. One who controls his mind, and also with a controlled mind and controlled external organs, he does karma yoga, the yoga of action, without getting attached. Asaktah, he is the true person. He actually becomes excellent. So always we have this question of how to excel in work. How to excel in work. In fact, day after tomorrow I will be talking in a management institute on how spirituality and productivity. See, productivity, how it can be brought by spirituality. The general idea is spirituality matlab kaam daam chhod do, sannyas le lo. But it is a very wrong idea. Why? Because most of the work, if you see across monastic traditions, great inventions, discoveries were made by monastic people. So how can one do that? It is through unattachment. In the modern administrative language, we say conflict of interest. If you have a conflict of interest, it is difficult for you to do any work. In the recent past, you know this example of E. Sridharan, who is called famously as the Metro Man. Kolkata Metro, he did single-handed. That was the first metro in India. And that time he was an employee of the Indian Railways. He did it single-handedly. Then later on when Delhi Metro was done, he did it single-handedly. Konkan Railways, a huge project, in fact one of the biggest projects, railway projects in the world, the biggest. He did it, it has got so many tunnels and all that, and it was having lot of land settlements. In fact 49,000 land settlements. Even one land settlement you have so much of problem, we know that. So 49,000 land settlements, and he did it in a record speed within 7 years. Why? Because he was not attached. And not only that, he made sure that all the engineers who were involved in key positions had no connection with anybody. The tenders were passed with no phone connections, etc., and they were kept in a hotel, etc. It's all now become legendary. So Sridharan. So whenever you have a work ethic without any conflict of interest, you can excel. But the moment you are in the chairperson or the chairman of a company which is going to get a contract, and a institution which is going to give contract, you are also there in that board, then it always gets confused. It never works like that. You have a serious conflict of interest. That's what we always see in administration. We see that, oh, there is a conflict of interest, so people go and file a PIL saying that you have to resign, etc. What does that mean? It means that you have some kind of interest. But what is the question which crops up every time when we say that you have to work selflessly? How can somebody work selflessly? That's the question. Without motive or without having any interest, how can somebody work? The idea is not that you work without any aim. You will have an aim, but you will not be bothered about the end result, because if you are going on bothering about the end result, you can never excel. That is the idea. You have to have a goal setting, but at the same time, while you are doing the work, you have to just concentrate on the work. If you always think, suppose you are making biryani, for an example, you always think of how the final product will taste, you will never be able to make biryani. So that is what. So this we need to understand.
So you have the aim. Now you are not bothered about the end result, but while doing lots of other difficulties and hampering your going towards that aim, and then you get bothered. How to deal with that problem?
You see, if you get bothered about anything, even the obstacles, then you will be, what will happen is you will get tensed, so you will get disturbed. And because we have to use our mind to do work, so that is why Ramakrishna gives the example, beautiful example of pen. You see, we write so many things using pen. You scold somebody, you write a complaint letter against somebody, you may also write a love letter, but the pen is never affected. Just because you wrote a love letter, the pen is not jumping, or you wrote a complaint, the pen is not affected. So that means what? And that is why you are able to use the pen properly. So we have to use the mind as instrument. So we know that this is an obstacle. So you have to rationally think how to remove that obstacle. You have to work for that, but at the same time not get disturbed. For example, I will give you a very clear example. Say this is a true incident, okay, very recent. I was assigned a job of installing some equipment. I was doing that job, and the installation was over, and whenever an equipment is installed, there are some teething troubles. So the teething trouble was going on. Now that is what always happens when you install a new hardware or a software. It takes time for people to adjust to migrate from the old system to the new system, and it was going on. But suddenly people thought that this person is not good to do this work. While I was talking to somebody relating to that work, you see that those people were talking to me. I get a phone call saying that you don't need to do that work. You just give it. So I said okay, and I told them that look, I am not doing it anymore, so you can talk to them. In the midst of the conversation, I left it, and they went and did it. So there was no problem. Why there was no problem? Now this is what is very more important. Till now, everyone I think can do, because chhod do bhai, humko jhamela nahi chahiye. That everyone will be very happy. But there was no problem for the other person to take the work. Why? Because whatever I did was not with me. It was in a file. I had not kept anything with me. It was all well documented and kept in a file. From the day one, I worked in such a way that any moment I can give up the work. Are you getting the point? So we don't do that. You see, administrative action or the way we work in the office is directly connected with this karma yoga. Suppose we talk with a person regarding a research project and we do a lot of discussion. There is something called file note. In India, I have very rarely seen any office maintaining that. So you make a file note, date, discussion, people were there, we discussed and these things. So you just give up the job at any moment, nobody will want your help. They will just open the file and everything is there. Are you getting it?
Yeah, I understand, but there were different problems where the important thing you had is the unattachment, and you could unattach yourself from the work at any time.
Yes.
Okay, but my, let's say, some work had some aim, has some aim, and towards that aim, you are dependent on many not only technical problems,
Other people.
Other persons.
Other people, yes.
Other people, if they do not do and or something, some kind of, I'm not defining it.
Yeah.
Some kind of problem coming from other people. Then how do you not getting perturbed and then solve the problem and go still towards the aim?
I think always it is better by giving you actual incidents instead of talking big philosophy. I was telling a graphic designer to do something. He did not even listen to what I was telling. Actually, this is an employer situation. But he did not even bother, did not even listen to what I told. What should have happened? I should have got angry and scolded him, and he would have got upset, and he would have probably left for the day, etc. And probably next day would not have come. He would have thought of changing the job, etc. I did not go for anything. It was very insulting because there are so many other employees, no? So it was very insulting. I simply gulped it down. Literally, I did it. Then I called him at a different moment and said that this you cannot do because we have to do that. So you see, constantly the problem with any work, most of the times you can do the work yourself. It is very easy. Most of the times that work, if I had to do, I would have done in half an hour because I know the job I could have done. But then what you know, you can't do great works, great projects if you have to do everything yourself. You have to work with a team, and that is the key of Karma Yoga. So you have to have zero ego. It is not possible to have zero ego, but you should be as pragmatic as possible. You have to gulp many things down. You have to have what is called lot of forbearance. Lot of forbearance. You have to maybe get scolding from people who may not even be school pass outs. They will come and give you nice doses in Bengali, some language which you will not be able to gulp down. You have to listen that, because people are very much, these are instruments. Again, that's what I am telling. These are instruments. People are instruments. You have to just, okay, what about suddenly you open your laptop and your laptop goes boom. Okay, you are talking about people. Equipment also do that. One day I came and I had written an article of 3000 words and my laptop goes kaput. Kaput means gone. So, what can be done? Nothing. I had to rewrite the article again. Nothing can be done. This is what you have to depend on the instruments, and you have to build, and this comes only by abhyasena, only by practice. You will always get beatings and you have to do, and then you will excel. And see, there are so many things which I thought of 7 years back, and they are now slowly coming to fruition. They are materializing now. I thought of very clearly. I had plans written down, charted, etc. I talked to many people, nothing happened. But today, many of those plans are happening in a very big way. Across India, many institutions are putting those ideas into action. So if you think something, that thinking will not go waste. In a different context in Gita itself, Sri Krishna says, Nahi kalyana kaschit durgatim tatha gacchati. This is money back program, guarantee, money back guarantee program. He says, nothing will go waste. Nothing will go waste. No. I think you are mistaken. In fact, in my case only this problem is more. Because
Yeah, no. I mean, the assumption is your situation is not a real life situation.
No. You see, in my case only this is more. This conflict of personal and organization, in my case it is more. I will tell you why. Because you may go to a job 9 to 5 and there it ends. But I am in an organization which decides which brand of soap I will use, which decides which toothpaste I will use, which decides which food I will eat. Because it does not decide, I have voluntarily gone to that organization. So for me, there is no personal and no organization. So there are many people who, in fact in Catholic Christianity also this problem is there. There are many priests who try to get name and fame, who have a dichotomy between their personal interest and the interest of the church. The same problem is there in a very small percentage in Ramakrishna mission also. Some people, and then the headquarters says, hey, what you are doing is not correct. It does not reflect the image of the organization. You see?
So if there is a conflict of interest, if I keep the files, everything documented, then I may lose my job in a month's time or something.
No. Why if you keep everything documented, why should you lose the job? That means you were not doing something proper in the first place.
No, it's like that, like whatever there is knowledge inside you,
Huh.
just keep out and just keep it in document.
No, that is a wrong idea. You see, if you no. If you have a very good ethical system, then only you can talk of karma yoga or any yoga for that matter. If you think by sharing your knowledge you are going to get a disadvantage in competition, you are mistaken. It never happens like that. It never actually happens. This is a short-sighted view. If I tell the person what I know, I will not get promotion. No. Ask people who have been leaders. You show me one person who did not share knowledge and went to the top. You show me one example. You will not find. These are all mediocre people who end up being vice presidents, who end up being general managers. They never go to top. They don't bring innovation. People who are leaders, they never do that. They always share knowledge. Why? Because you also need knowledge sharing. You also need knowledge sharing. You can get wonderful insights by people who are not even school pass outs. It's always possible.
When the question comes about material existence, because like I don't have a job, so I cannot feed myself.
You see, you don't have a job, you can always go to another company. If I am I am in a much deeper, this whole idea that somehow people in that's what Professor Mandal is pointing out to, somehow people in Ramakrishna mission are safe. No. Shurasya dhara, we are much more in a serious predicament. But of course we have come here voluntarily. So that is a different thing. But it is a very serious predicament. Suppose you get into some kind of tussle with your seniors, you can quit 5 o'clock, you can come, you can mix with your wife or somebody else and that can go away. But if I get into a tussle with my senior, 24 hours I have to see his face and I have to face that. You see? So, material situation also is more predominant in my case, because materially the senior will decide what I will eat or where I will go, when I will sleep, etc. So many things are decided. Monastery situation is different. If you study Catholic monasteries of the past, you will understand. Even when you get up is decided by the monastery. So, no, it is not like that.
But your basic care needs are taken care, like something like
No, that's what. It should be taken care. But if I get into wrong terms, that it may not be taken care. Please understand it. It is not, I don't have a, exemption clause. So, it's very, very difficult. You say the Maharaj material means you already presuppose that I am somehow aware. This is also material. This also is material. And also I need food. So, I am also very much in the material realm. Okay. Now we go to yoga of action. What Sri Krishna said, and much more than that, what he practiced is selflessness. See, we have this Krishna who did so many things. But he died just because somebody shot an arrow and he was sitting in the tree, under the tree. Nothing. He did not bother. He saw his brother. He had got a, notorious distinction of being a drunkard, Balarama. That is why in many temples of Balarama temples, there not many, they offer liquor. So he has got that distinction. And he drank and he went into debauchery and all that, and his whole Dwaraka Puri went under sea. And that is what has been found out by Archaeological Survey of India, that Dwaraka exists even now under sea. Very recently this Discovery Channel people did a feature on that. So Dwaraka exists. All these things Sri Krishna saw in front of him. He could have prevented that. He was Lord himself, but no, he did not do anything. That shows selflessness. Most of us don't do because we don't have the power. He had all the power, but he didn't do. This is Keshi Ghat in Vrindavan. See? And this is the main ghat where Yamuna is there.
Maharaj, if you could have stopped this going down of destruction of
It
Dwarka, it was a selfless action.
No.
Why did you stop?
Dwarka was his own. Actually, it was not selfless. They were cursed. There was a particular curse for which that curse that karma's action had to fructify. It had to bring fruit. That is why. That's why again, if you go to Manisha Panchakam, there they will say Prarabdhaya samarpitam swabapuhu. What does the wise man do? He does not struggle with the flow of action. He just leaves. Gahano karmana gati.